Right. Islam. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Moorish Sense Channel. You have the opportunity. You have the opportunity this evening. You have a treat this evening. We have one of the elder statesmen from the Moorish Science Temple of America here with me this evening. It's your brother Brendan Jordan, Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 13, located at 1055 North Milton Avenue, coming to you this evening. I want to first raise my thoughts. I want to rise and give praises to Allah. I want to give honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I want to give honor to Brother Prophet Noble Drew Ali reincarnated. Also, I want to also give honor to Supreme Grand Resurrection Grand Sheik Timothy G. Dingleo. I want to give honors to the Moorish flag, the Moorish flag, which is the flag of our descent, the American flag, the flag of our birth. I also want to give honors to my officials, the officials at 1055 North Milton Avenue. The Supreme Grand Sheik Prathiel, Supreme Grand Sheik is Prathiel, the National Grand Sheik is Jones Bay. I want to also give honors to my co-host. I know he will be tuning in, and that's Sheik Maddox-Bey. I want to give honors to my wife. I want to give honors to my children. And I also want to give honors to all Moorish Americans who are teaching our people the truth about who they are, the fact that we are not Negroes, blacks, and coloreds. And again, tonight's episode, tonight's interview, this is a Moorish American interview exclusive. I have with me an elder in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. And it's an honor to have you here this evening, Sheik Maddox-Bey, and I'm going to pass it over to you so you can introduce yourself to the Moorish Sense Channel audience.
Thank you, Mo. I don't know if you can hear me. Your audio went down. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Islam. Go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Islam, Moorish Americans. My name is Sheik Frank Maddox-Bey, National Governor of this Egypt of the West. Let me say at the outset that the Prophet gave us these titles not to be at a storefront or some type of building with the name Moorish Science Temple on top of it, over top of it. He gave us this, brought us this vast estate government, etheric, what we might term as a divine government, to do divine things and to set our house in order. And that house is not only our personal house in terms of our wives and our children and ourselves, but also our house in terms of our government. We have to understand, and all the brothers and sisters in Moorish Science, coming in Moorish Science, must understand that we had the government first. This was our government, came from our union, okay? As it's been said by so many brothers, we brought the Europeans into our house.
That's right.
They were looking for a home. There was so much fighting going on in the medieval times, all the way up until the 1800s, on this hemisphere, cross-fighting, different Europeans and different aspects of the Moorish nation. When we say different aspects of the Moorish nation, we're talking about the different complexion of Moors, the sundry Moors.
That's right.
Okay.
So Sheik Maddox-Bey, before we get into that, right? Because I just want to make sure, because we have a lot of people across the Moorish circuit who come in, they say certain things, you see it on YouTube, etc. But I want to make sure that we qualify everything that you're going to present this evening, everything that you're going to share this evening with your background, just a little bit on your background as how you came into the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish movement. So our audience, they may not even be familiar with this history, but we know that you're about to drop some jewels on them, right? So here we go. Where are you originally from, Sheik Maddox-Bey, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm originally from New York. My people moved to Baltimore in the early 50s.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't born in 77. I wasn't born in 67. I was born in 1947.
Wow.
My folks had a business, came to Baltimore. We established a business called Time Printers. That business is still in business to this day.
Wow.
On Warwick Avenue.
Praise the Lord. West Baltimore. Right. That's right.
Yeah. So I came into Moorish Science. When I came into Moorish Science, it was in the 60s. Okay. Like me and Freddie went to school, which was Timothy Dingle's oldest son. Wow. We was in school together. We was in the same class together. I got familiar with Freddie, and I started beginning to come into more science around that same time, around 65, somewhere along in there. Now, I saw a very unusual thing around 66, 67. The brothers came from Morocco, right? And they looked in the window. I saw them. I was on the outside. And they pointed to Moorish and the flag in the window. And they came on the inside. At the time, Richardson Dingle Eel, who we knew as Prophet Noble Drew Ali III, as Grand Sheik and Seabreeze Bey so nobly expressed the modern day Moses and Aaron, right? The Mo was sitting in the seat. The brothers kneeled down and kissed the Mo hand. And I'm saying, well, what am I seeing? And what we're seeing is our customs being shown respect to our brothers in the West. And the brothers stated at the time that all these people, talking about us, walking around here with these marks on us, Negro, black, and colored, and the other man named, all of us are Moors, and this is the Moroccan Empire. And I was astonished. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So you mentioned Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle. I've heard a lot about Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle, of course, from Grand Sheik and Seabreeze Bey and many elder Moors around your age and those who have come up in the ranks alongside you. What aspects did Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle teach on? What were the specific aspects that he kind of put in you all as, you know, younger Moors or Moors that were coming up, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, their mission from the reincarnated prophet, right, was to, and it's a misunderstanding about the prophet teaches amongst the members. A lot of people coming into the temple, they think it's a club. It's not a club. It's the vehicle that's going to deliver our freedom.
That's right.
Okay. Now we got to understand something. We still got these marks on us: Negro, black, colored. Negro is a slave terminology. Matter of fact, it means slave. You know. Now I didn't see how I can go right into it.
That's right. You're going right into it, man. Go ahead.
But let me say this. It all started, that term. That's why the prophet tell us to learn how to speak Spanish.
Wow.
That's a Spanish word, means black. How did that word get on us? It wasn't talking about our complexion, because it's no black people, technically. Right? What happened was, when the Moors began to lose power in Granada, dealing with Ferdinand and Isabella, Boab Eel, right? The Moors that were captured by the Christians and the Catholics, they marked them Negro Moor. It wasn't just Negro, it was Negro Moor, meaning that you're cut off from the political body of the Moors.
Wow.
See?
Yes, sir.
And then in terms, 30 years, 60 years, so on and so forth, they would issue edicts. These edicts would say something to the effect that you're no longer a Negro Moor, now you're just blacks. You're just a Negro.
That's right. I've
right?
heard that.
Okay. You can no longer wear your clothes and your fez or your turban. Now you have to dress like us. You can no longer read the Quran. You have to read the Bible.
I heard that before, and I've read
now
that.
Right? So 30 years, 40 years, edicts. Now you have to eat swine and drink wine. And so it was systematically breaking our customs and traditions and laws down. And they created what is still called to this day a Negro.
So you're saying, so let's just clear it up for our audience, right? Sheik Maddox-Bey, you're saying the Negro is a construct, it's a created being. It wasn't something that our ancestors or our forefathers adopted. It was something that was placed on them. Is that correct?
No.
Go ahead.
No, that's right. Every human being come from a land, some land, geographical location.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And they're named after that geographical location, basically.
That's right.
China from China, Chinese from China, Japanese from Japan, so on and so forth.
That's right.
You know, well, there is no land called Negro land.
Hmm.
There is no land called Negro land. This is a construct to deconstruct a people that was the founders of civilization.
Islam.
Okay, so that's very important because we still have to deal with this aspect uh, today.
That's right.
We have Moors in the Moor Science Temple with an NAACP card.
Wow. Wow.
Still don't have Moorish identity.
Hmm.
I was in the brothers' temple a few months back, Brother Eric Thompson Bay,
Okay.
and the brother asked the question, how many of you Moors have Moorish identity? 4 people raised their hand.
That's an issue,
The
man.
sister I brought with me, Sheik Zator,
Hmm.
myself, and 2 other people.
Okay.
And I told him, well, I'm gonna do something about that. And I showed him what I was working on, and he said, please, Mo, get this information to me.
That
And I
sounds
said,
like
it's coming.
that
It's
sounds like
coming.
he's a
You know,
humble sheep.
right,
That's right.
right. As I gave the nationality cards out at the nation's capital a few
When
years
we went to
back,
what is it? Actual Freedom Day.
yes, and
Yes, sir.
also at the Lincoln Memorial,
I remember that.
yes.
All right. So moving on, segueing, right? And I appreciate you, bringing that point to us in regards to the whole idea of the Negro Moor. Can you just expound and explain to us the importance of South Carolina? We hear a lot about North Carolina. We know the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was born in the state of North Carolina, January 8th, 1886, according to our 101 Questions, which is also our authority. But we also know that there's a significance with North Carolina and South Carolina. We know at one point in time, it was all one at one point in time, and then it was
Yes,
there was a separation, right?
yes,
And a lot of
yes,
people think it was just based off of the climate or the geographical landscape of those two areas being somewhat different or diametric. But when you really get into the true history, which I know you're about to expound upon, it was much more than that, than just
yes,
geographic landmass. So you
yes,
go ahead. Thank you.
yes. A matter of fact, that was a big Moorish sit, the
Hmm.
Carolinas, both North and South. You know, in North Carolina, you have what's called the Cherokee Reservation.
That's right.
You know, so if you go back to the old time, that included parts of Tennessee, you know, South
Kentucky.
Carolina, of
That's right.
course,
Kentucky.
Georgia,
That's
you
right.
know,
Go
the
ahead.
whole that whole section.
That's right.
But in South Carolina, you had because you had the ports there, right? A
Right.
very famous port in Charleston, South Carolina. You had what was called the Sundry Moors of South Carolina.
Okay.
Now, what they did something very significant because they saw their people going into slavery. Remember now, when they was enslaving the people on the landmass, they were enslaving children.
Wow. Now let me ask you that, right? Can I ask a question? So it's a
Mm,
record that I have. It's called Religious Instructions for the Negroes by a guy by the name of Reverend Charles Colette Jones, right? And it's something I demonstrate in our Sunday schools because in there it talks about how our forefathers, our ancestors, they weren't getting down with the idea concept of Jesus Christ. When they would say Jesus Christ, our ancestors were saying Allah, right? And they were saying, well, these
right.
people were backwards. Well, what I realized they said in the book, and I quote, it said that the customs of the old quote unquote African way of thinking had died out. And because of that, a lot of the elders were killed off, and the children or the babies were raised up alongside of the Europeans. And by being raised up alongside of the Europeans in the South, as well as in the Caribbean, etc., they adopted a lot of their customs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So so it kind of parallels off of what you just said. You said it was the babies, right?
yes.
Okay.
Um, the Sundry Moors of South Carolina were very conscious, Mo,
Hmm.
and they saw what was happening to their children. So what they did, they petitioned the court of South Carolina not to be tried under the black codes, not to be tried under the Negro law.
What were the Negro laws? What were some of the Negro laws of black codes? What was it? What was it kind of like doing at that time? In Charleston and Beaufort and
They had
Rockville.
no rights.
Wow.
They had
Okay.
no rights under that. You
Okay.
see, remember now, these people here, uh, the Europeans that lived here, they didn't initiate slavery, Mo.
Oh yeah,
They
I
were
know.
slaves themselves.
That's right. That's right.
Remember, at that time, England had the big stick. England had left the slaves here, right?
That's right.
And so at that time, they were fighting against England.
Mm.
So that's why Lincoln said afterwards that if they could rise from the grave, they couldn't recognize what was going on there. You follow me? Because
Wow.
they flipped the script.
Flip the script, right?
Right.
Wow.
I want to if I can find it real quick,
Go ahead, take
I
your time.
want to deal with this piece on a Sundry Moors of South.
Yes, sir.
Bear with me, Mo.
No,
One second.
also, we got time. Yep, we got time. And for our listeners and our viewers, we thank you for being patient with our elder. We thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue to keep it rolling, keep recording. Again, if you have any questions at all, when you look at this video, when you look at the recording, please, by all means, feel free to reach out to us in the comments. Reach out to us on the Moorish Sense channel, the Moorish Sense channel's email address, which is moorishsensemedia@gmail.com. And I think Sheik Maddox-Bey is getting back to us now. So go ahead.
Yes.
Governor
Yes.
Maddox-Bey, you got it. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Here's from the reincarnated brother, who we knew as Brother Prophet.
That's right, Brother
Right,
Prophet.
John Givensdale.
That's right, Brother
And you got to remember, he didn't change anything. He carried out the Mo's words and law.
To the T.
And
That's
the
right.
law
He
was
didn't bring
they're
anything.
not Negroes.
That's
Colored
right.
folks for black people.
That's right.
Right, a historical letter. The Mo lived at 447 East 40th Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Right.
Continue to believe and trust me for my words. I've done a great work for you all. Still, I'm going to do greater work for you all. I brought you all your nationality and name. Talking about the spirit of the prophet.
That's
The
right.
forefathers of the Moorish Americans had a name and nationality. But in order to separate them from the achievements of their fathers, a name was given them which had no connection whatever with the founders of civilization.
That's right.
It was manufactured, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Right? See,
That's
they
right.
weren't slaves. You all have proof now that you're not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. Now, what happened around 1779? The different factions of the Europeans had begun to quell their beefs.
Right. That's
right.
right. That's those 13 colonies.
Remember
man.
now, we fought on all sides of the conflict.
That's right.
We
French
fought with the
Indian
English.
War. Come on now. You
Right?
talk. I hear
We
you.
fought
Go
with
ahead.
the French. We fought with the Russians. The Germans. etc.
That's right.
So the thing was, it was slaves at that time, right? So they kept the name Negro.
Wow.
Right? Instead of abolishing it, they kept the term Negro to identify now it is universal slavery.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's
To
right.
the unconscious Asiatics.
That's right.
So the nationality was taken away. How was the nationality taken away? Whenever you share your government with another people, that's what you call a loss of nationality, from a natural sense.
Okay.
See, that's why the civil rights laws, we're not under civil rights.
At all.
We under human and divine rights.
That's right.
And also the law that resolves the conflict of laws. Right?
Okay.
This was the purpose of the Pan American Conference.
Okay.
All this got to be done. This is the great work that's remaining before us. We fought a war to be free. We fought under contract. See? So everything is in place. All we got to do is carry it out. Let me finish this piece here.
Oh, go ahead and do it. That's all right. Go ahead.
Okay, and it says, in the deliberation of nations, no consideration is given to a people who are not a nation. The European took the birthright away from the people whom they forged under bondage. They were not slaves. They were bound free men.
That's right.
The subsequent generations who found them in bondage were slaves because their minds had been subjugated to a European psychology.
That's
To this
right.
very day,
That's right.
we had to eradicate the term Negro, black, and colored. As a matter of fact, it's unconstitutional
That's right. That's right.
for our people to even call themselves Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians.
Islam.
People coming into the country, you got to put down what name your nation, what nation you're from.
Because they place their trust upon it. That's right. Go ahead.
Right.
That's right.
So that's very important, Mo.
Islam.
See, that's very important. You know, so our people are technically out of
Constitutional fold.
they're out of the constitutional fold. They're stuck
Islam.
all together. You see,
Yes,
and it
sir.
subjugate them to what anything that these people can bestow upon them, Rome can do. Right?
Right.
See, they have no redress in the courts. They have no, just like the people coming from Central and South America in this political climate, they have
Let's
no
save
paperwork. They have no
get into
paperwork to show that they're citizens, that they have any political connection whatsoever with this body of politics. And
I want
neither
you to
do
elaborate on that.
right, and neither do the Negro. The people are
Right.
under the people that's under Negroism. They have nothing to show that they're a true citizen.
Praise Allah. So we're gonna get onto that point because I want you to really, because when I sat down with you a couple of weeks ago, you said, Mo, I need to get this out. I see what's happening with the climate, what's coming down the pipeline, and I want you to make the audience aware of that. We're gonna get to that point, right? But you also made reference to, and I did as well, about our people being out of the constitutional fold, right? Maybe some of our audience have heard of the 13th Amendment with 2 sections. But I don't know if a lot of people have heard of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, as well as I know that I've heard it, and it's been taught in the temple of this being Egypt of the West, as well as the significant President Abraham Lincoln. Would you be able to just expound on those 3 points? 1320, this being Egypt of the West, and then President Lincoln. We go back to that point that you just raised. Thank you.
Let's deal with the 13th Amendment, 20 sections first. Because the prophet in the warning, he gives the Moors a warning, right? That warning tell them, do not attach yourself to the 14th and 15th Amendment. There's no need for that. Okay? There's no need for the 14th and 15th Amendment. Why? Because in essence, it was thrown out of court in 1883, held null and void by Justice Bradley. If we were citizens in 1774, if we voted in 1774, why do we now need a law in 1865 to make us re-citizens?
Right, that makes no sense.
You know,
makes no sense.
It don't make no sense, Mo.
Oh, go
so
ahead.
When we understand the history, right?
Yes, sir.
That we brought this country into existence, the government, that we were here all the time. This is part of what is called the Maghreb.
That's right.
Right, which was the lands west.
Furthest west.
If you look at Morocco across the water, when we were in that part of the world, this part of the world was our Maghreb.
Islam.
Right? And this is known history.
That's right.
This history is known.
Yes, sir.
See, what they did was they kept, once they confused, got us discombobulated here, anything they threw before us, we digested.
Islam.
Right? And so they wrote the curriculum. They told your story, and they told it not only in reverse, but they told it upside down.
Wow.
So now we real confused.
Islam.
See? And the present day climate shows us just that. Okay? Now the 14th Amendment, it don't that the prophet didn't say the 13th Amendment. So let us
Right.
look at the 13th Amendment.
Right.
That number 13 is very, very significant. Just
Islam.
as our symbol is number 13.
That's right.
See? The
Right.
Jew knew what he was doing.
That's right.
We didn't bring Temple 13 to Baltimore.
No, we
Prophet
didn't.
Noble Ali brought Temple 13 to Baltimore,
Islam.
right? It got a mystical side to it.
Mm.
The 13, the 12 signs of the zodiac.
That's right.
The sun makes 13. The 12 sons. The
Mm.
parchment makes 13, right?
Islam.
The 12 tribes. The old Moabite tribe hold a 13th position.
That's right.
So that 13 is repeated again and again and again. It's an organizing number.
Islam.
So when we look at the Constitution, we see 12 amendments, right?
Islam.
But it was a problem. And that problem was slavery. And why was this whole thing brought together? In order to form a what?
Perfect union.
A more perfect union,
That's right.
right? So by the year 1808, slavery was supposed to be abolished.
That's right.
But the Moors and the Europeans, not just the Europeans,
Because it was the Moors too. That's right. Come on,
yeah,
man.
the Moors too,
That's right.
they was making huge profits.
You're making money. Come on, now. It's
Right.
always been, profitable. It was
Right.
profitable.
But I don't want to leave us out of it.
No, we can't.
Because when we sit down at the table with these Europeans to give them their names back, and we got to get our money,
That's right.
right? And they got to get their money.
Compensation. That's right.
We already talked to some of them, and they want their compensation.
Islam.
Now they know the Moors hold the key, right? Because
Right.
look, they can't push it. They can't break the Roman seal.
Right.
But we be the Nazarene,
Islam.
right? We be the Nazarene. What do he say? Men will comprehend a little of the works of purity and love in that age, but in this age,
That's right.
now we can speak the gospel, right?
Islam.
We can speak the hidden 18 missing years. See?
Right.
And we got to go back. We got to go back to the scene of the crime.
Okay.
A crime has been committed. The 1320 passed. The bonds went out. The bonds are still maturing to this day.
Mm.
That's why we're not no poor people.
Mm.
When we coming out, man, we coming out with great substance. We coming out with great substance, Mo.
Islam.
They can't pay you in no fiat debt for debt note. They got to pay you in gold, man.
Oh, right. That's right.
Abraham Lincoln knew what he was doing, right? That's why he said you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Mm.
Now something else is happening. That's the atmosphere, the weather.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going to hear and see things coming from the heavens that's perplexing, man. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
That these people, what we got the cure for the whole thing. In the national government, we got the law.
That's right.
In the religious, we got that aspect. In the Christian demonstration, we got the 18 missing years.
Islam.
Right? But we got to be clear, like the Nazarene. Right? He was clear.
That's right.
He spoke with power,
And
purity, and authority.
That's right.
Right? As long as he stayed on earth, he was good until he met who? That sister. And then for 3 days, forgotten was his mission.
Mm.
But in the end, his higher self rose.
That's right.
And as he told his sister, the whole world is craving for a love I come to manifest. Because he's issuing in a new dimension in time.
Right. New era. That's right.
See? And the Europeans, they want to be a part of this new dimension. Don't nobody want to be left out, man.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But listen, and here's how it goes, and here's how it always went. When a prophet come to a nation, and that nation adheres to and honor the words, precepts, and laws and duties of that prophet, that nation is rewarded.
Islam.
Go
That's
back
right.
in the past.
That's true. Every prophet.
Look at Muhammad's people.
Right.
Look at Abraham time.
Abraham.
Look at
Come on.
Moses time.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
You know, they were rewarded. They were blessed. Look at Jonah. Look at Nineveh.
That's right. When they got
Right?
themselves together. That's right.
Yeah, Mo. Now look at the people when a prophet come to a nation, and that nation do not adhere to the precepts and laws and words and spirit of that prophet, that nation is marked for destruction.
The worst is yet to
You
come.
follow
That's
me?
what you said.
Now, Mo, it's about time that all these Moors really learn who Abraham Lincoln was, because he was not ordinary. He was not ordinary man, Mo. Listen, where the prophet has him in Acts 6, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we're teaching our people their nationality and divine creed, that they must know that they are part and parcel of the said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names last did, ED, meaning it ended in 1865.
That's right.
Who was in charge and what was the law that ended it? That's what we got to concern ourselves with, Islamo, because it was based on the laws of Musa.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Moses, that's right.
He came out with a mixed multitude of over 600,000.
That's right.
Right? He was known as the great lawgiver.
That's right.
Right? When we look at numbers, he had to take account. Islamo.
I hear you. I hear you. I know where you're going with it.
Right. Where your father come from? What did your mom do?
That's
follow me?
Registration. Come on now.
All those that was right, 21 and over.
That's right.
Rated able men.
That's right.
Same way today. Allah put it into our heart to gather the rulers, the nobles, and the people, that they might be registered according to genealogy. That's what I attempted to do. I didn't look, I didn't initiate this on me. You know, I don't have enough sense to do that. Allah did that.
That's right.
Remember, I was coming to the convention with the nationality card, and but then the Mo, he saw it.
Right.
He said, yeah, Mo, I help you, see why? Because now it's time.
Islam.
Now it's time. And we following our brother Yeshua.
Wow.
Who we call, or who is called, Jesus Christ.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Because there is no historical character named Jesus Christ.
That's right. Come on now. We told on that a few weeks ago.
Come on, man.
That's right.
Right? So the brother, being the logos that he was, he named his inner circle. Why was Jesus sent to this earth? To save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the pale-skinned nations of Europe.
Who were governed.
How was he going to save them? Where was his army at to fight against the Roman army?
Right. Who were ruling.
What was he going to fight with? The spirit of truth, Mo.
Wow.
The spirit of truth. So he initiated it by what? By naming his inner circle. By naming his inner circle.
Islam.
He didn't get to everybody. That's where you get into the mistakes or the errors of Yeshua.
Okay.
Because he was supposed to follow what Nehemiah and them did.
Registration.
See, when Nehemiah and them came out and they went back home, they found a registry.
Right.
Right? Now remember, they stayed in captivity for a couple hundred years. So they ain't got their names. Right. They ain't got their customs. They ain't got their traditions. They haven't eaten their diet. They got the names of the people that Nebuchadnezzar, they held them in captivity.
Captives, that's right. The ones
so they had to clean up. What you say, Mo?
I said the ones that captured them. They're slaveholders. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So they had to clean up. So that was Ezra and Nehemiah's job to find out what did they find? They found their vital records.
Okay.
Their vital records.
Islam.
That's what the Dingwall brothers set up.
Okay.
After
go ahead.
What the brothers did in South Carolina In other words, that's the family nation working their degrees. Islam. The Sunday boys of South Carolina petitioned the court of South Carolina not to be tried under the black codes. We're not niggas, we're Moors.
That's right.
The court agreed with it. The state of South Carolina agreed with it. The national government agreed with it. And we were in alliance with the King of Morocco. Ain't that what we're trying to get back to?
Islam.
That's what we're trying to get back to, Mo.
Right.
And the only people that's holding us back is who? Us.
Ourselves. Yeah, I'm about to say ourselves. That's right.
Yes.
Ourselves.
So when the Wheel brothers did what they did, they came out with an agreement. I got the agreement, but I can't find it right now.
Praise Allah. All is well.
Right.
All is well. That's right.
But I got the agreement. I'll get it to you some kind of way, Mo.
Yes, sir.
That agreement is very important. Okay? Because the agreement is speaking about the 13th Amendment in 20 sections. That's deal with your actual freedom.
Islam.
See, in the 13.2 and civil rights, it don't say that you actually free.
No, it doesn't.
In that 13.20 in the proclamations, it says you are forever free.
Free. That's right. Islam.
And any effort you make for your actual freedom,
Islam.
the Army, Navy, or no other institution are to do no acts or acts that repress you in any effort
Islam.
you make for your actual freedom. Now, after the Civil War, a brother ran to Mr. Lincoln, fell on his knees, and said, Mr. Lincoln, I thank you for what you did for me and my people. Lincoln picked him up by his armpits and said, if any man ever make a slave out you, get you a gun and teach him you ain't gonna be no slave.
Praise Allah.
Now, a lot of people think that war was a joke. But more people died in the Civil War than World War I.
That's right.
World War II.
Come on now.
The Korean War, the war in Vietnam, and any other war we fighting. Because that was a civil war.
Right.
See? And we're going to be free. And our government is going to be free.
Wow.
Right? But first things first. And that the first things that we got to do first, we got to take care of these marks on us. When you go fill out your driving record, just make sure behind the scene, behind the computer,
right,
that they don't put that Negro on you.
Right.
Get that Negro off your record.
Because it's codified now. They won't tell you.
Yeah.
You gotta ask
you
for
go.
it. You know? You gotta ask
there you
for
go.
It. Right.
See? Right. That's very important. And also for the children, you got to go to the school and make sure they ain't marking them.
That's right. I had to do that with my son and my daughter. You know, they had them down in class. I said, no. That's not.
And look, man, let the kids know what's going on. But we can't sleep on our children.
Not all the time, right?
We cannot sleep on our children. Right. Our children are sharp.
Yes, they are.
You know. And I love it when they demonstrate this moral subject, man. Wow. You know. So yeah, Mo. So let me just expound on a little bit about Abraham Lincoln.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Okay, because when I first heard about Lincoln, it wasn't in school, it was in the Moorish Science Temple. I know I brought about 10 brothers in there myself. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't come in the temple looking for a female, looking for a man,
right,
looking for dope.
Right.
You probably looking for a hustle.
Go ahead.
I came in for the revolution, Mo.
Islam.
I was one of the brothers that used to go into the pool room with the tam on and the glasses saying drugs kill. Yeah, I was numbered in that. You follow me?
Right.
I was taking people over to Black Man Voluntary Army of Liberation over in D.C. Colonel Hassan, Colonel Mukti, right?
Okay.
Moors. It came out of right?
Yes, sir.
Back in '68, man. Okay. So when I came into the temple, I'm looking for freedom. Okay. And when the Mo came to the podium, the little piece of leather well put together, and said, I'm an Abraham Lincoln man. Mo, they looked around and said, what? Abraham Lincoln? But look, man, I said, wait a minute. We don't know what that Mo know, right? We don't know what that Mo know. Now, like I said before, go to 18. When we go to 1865 in our divine constitution, what the prophet is telling us in science is check out this time and check out the man who abolished slavery or initiated its abolishment, right? Because you're gonna find a blessing. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, Mo, but just let me read this piece and I'm gonna tie it in with something.
We only have 40.
Okay.
We only have 40 minutes. You got time. Go ahead.
Okay. My friends, this is this piece on the war is terrible. Okay. My friends. Wait a minute. Wrong page. Wait a minute. Let me put the phone down 1 second, Mo.
Okay, all is well.
Turn the page.
All is well.
Okay.
All right.
This is his first inaugural address. In your hands, my dissatisfied fellow countrymen, and not in mine, is the momentous issue of civil war. The government will not assail you. You can have no conflict without yourselves being aggressor. You have no oath registered in heaven to destroy the government, but I shall have the most solemn one to preserve, protect, and defend it. I'm loath to close. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Those passions may strain, it must not break our bonds of affection. Do the Moors hear anything that's familiar to them? The mystic chords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and every patriot grave to every living heart and heartstone all over this broad land, will yet swell by the course of union when again touched as surely as they will be by the better angels of our nature. The better angels of our nature, bonds of affection.
That's right.
See, more what the prophet has done, he's stepping us into, right, the prophet at that time. See?
Okay.
Backwards through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves. Remember Ray Bull, after he gave his great dissertation on the origin of man? And then our brothers say, well, brother, who told you this, that mind, which is man, can manifest in flesh of bird or beast or creeping thing? He looked around and said, well, from time we remember not, the priest told us so. And so we know. He said, a light in the rainbow. Are you a mastermind and do not know naught when it's being told to you? Let us forget the flesh. He took him out the flesh, Mo.
Wow. That's right.
He took him out the flesh. He took him up in the heavens.
That's right.
Let us forget the flesh and go of mind into the land of fleshless things and backwards through the age. You got to go back.
Islam.
You got to go back. And backwards through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves, and thus they know time never was and man was not.
That's right.
Backwards through the ages, Mo.
Islam.
The great work of masterminds is to restore the heritage of man, to bring him back to his true estate, that he will once again live on the ethers of our native plane. We're not living on the ethers of our native plane. The peace we experience in the day is a piece of death.
Say that again, Governor.
The peace that we are experiencing today is a piece of death.
Praise Allah. Yeah, okay. I heard it clear.
So now,
that's right.
Right. So now, I just read to you the first inaugural, and it states bonds of affection, right?
Islam.
Bonds of affection. Where's this at? In our literature,
It's in the Asiatic
right?
covenant. That's right.
Right. The better angels of our nature. Where's that at in the 101? See, what the prophet is doing, he's pointing backwards, right? And you hitting ether planes and energy, like barakas, like when you step into a temple or Mars.
Islam.
It's going to always be with you.
That's right.
It's going to always be with you, right? Because what's being built is a new soul, right? A new energy, right? Let me listen. Listen to this.
Okay.
This is two small paragraphs, but listen at the juices in this. Listen to this. Farewell address, Springfield, Illinois, February 11, 1861. My friends, no one not in my situation can appreciate my feelings of sadness at this party. To this place and the kindness of these people, I owe everything. Here I lived a quarter of a century and have passed from a young to an old man. Here my children have been born and one buried. I now leave not knowing when or whether ever I may return, with a task before me greater than that which rested upon Washington. Without the assistance of that divine being, whoever attend him, I cannot succeed. With that assistance, I cannot fail. Trusting in him who can go with me and remain with you and be everywhere for good, let us confidently hope that all will yet be well. To his care, commending you and hoping your prayers, you will commend me. I bid you affectionate farewell.
Wow.
Abraham Lincoln, Mo,
That's
wrote this.
Islam. That's right.
Mo, you had to go into ancient Moorish, the annals of ancient Moorish history to find this connection with the God thought and writing to the public like this.
Islam.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right? This is beautiful, Mo. And these things should be taught at school, and you have better people. Islam.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
You're better citizens.
it's a lot, man. It really is. But guess what? The Dingwall brothers knew that. Because remember, the old Mo I'm talking about, the low piece of leather well put together, he was in Drew
Okay.
Ali Temple.
Right.
I'm
That's
talking
right.
about the founder.
So clear that up. Let
Right.
people know.
His mother and father were Garveyites.
Praise
He
Allah.
found his own way into the temple.
That's right.
Islam,
Islam.
he found his own way into the temple, Mo.
That's wow. He was
Now,
what, 18? He was 18 years old, right?
yes,
That's right. He
yes.
was 18. Okay. Yes, sir.
But and going back before that time, a European heard him sing a song, right?
Okay.
And said, man, you know what's going to lead your people out of this confusion.
Mm.
Islam, Mo. This brother
Islam.
that we talking about, right? This little piece of leather well put together. This Mo pressed that man hand of the Civil War, Mo.
Wow.
Right?
Right.
And around the time of the prophet, it was confusion because the different orders, they wanted to go. See, you got to remember something. A lot of these brothers in the temple, they had churches
Right.
and congregations. They wasn't going to cut it loose.
A
They
lot
were
of
going
them
to have,
Masons.
they was going to have the people misled, right, with their turbans and feathers on.
Go ahead.
And the
Sorry.
prophet too had the reincarnated prophet take his seat,
Islam.
right? And
That's
he did a
right.
good job because that's where Timothy Dingwall wrote a letter to the public about his brother.
Okay.
He said that to clarify the misunderstanding between my brother and
Right.
I, right? They had to go back to the meeting with the generals, right? The generals put on their
Islam.
mind Moses and Aaron, right? Because they bring in
Right.
what? they bringing them the Mosaic Code. If you hold your brother, a bondsman or bondsmaid, 6 years in servitude. In the seventh year, you set him free and you compensate him.
That's right.
Now, who taught Lincoln that? Henry Clay.
Okay. Let's get it.
That's who taught Lincoln.
Islam.
See? Now, you got to remember when you talk about Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, you talking about, that's where the old Moors went up at, Mo.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I used to travel laying bricks, the Mo say, Mo, when you go out into the world, you're going to meet people, they're going to be Moors, but they're not going to have your complexion. Because I was darker then than I am now. I used to stay in the sun all the time. See? So, and lo and behold, Mo, when I went out and I met him, that article I gave you, Mo.
Yeah, North Carolina, that's right.
I wrote it in North Carolina, or I should say, I wrote some of it and prepared the other part of it. Right? But I heard about a guy named Brent Kennedy. Brent Kennedy was one of the heads of the Melungeon Society in Kentucky.
Wow.
Are you familiar with the Melungeons?
Yes, sir. Okay.
They're
yes, sir. Yes,
right.
They are. That's right.
And Brent Kennedy said, "Oh, I have a light complexion now, but my people came from dark island people."
Wow.
And he said, Melungeon, the term Melungeon means melanin. Right? So when the prophet said, "Come all you Asiatics," he talking about them too.
That's right.
Like, what about the people in the swamp down there in Louisiana? What they call Cajuns?
Creoles.
Creoles, right? Well, a Creole is a white person, an Indian, and a black person.
Right. Amalgamation. That's right. Amalgamation.
Right.
That's right.
All of them got to come in.
That's right.
Oh, Mo, I'm telling you, the brother that got that beautiful society up in Tennessee. What's his name? Pastor Dow.
I've heard of him.
Look, when y'all Moors get an opportunity, I ain't saying nobody's perfect, but check his society out.
Okay.
He said, I got enough food up here that last me 2 years, and I ain't got to go to the supermarket, and I can feed about 300 or 400 people.
Wow.
He ain't no joke, Mo.
Wow. Okay.
See?
Yes.
So the prophet is giving us a warning. Put up enough food and water that'll last you for 90 days. I want my Moors to live amongst each other. What he telling you in science is get farmland.
That's right.
Have farmland. That's right. Remember Rupa Morbitis? Our great grandmother?
Islam.
Right? She received approval from Boaz because she was gleaning Boaz's field. Naomi prepared her to glean in Boaz's field.
Right.
Islam. In his field.
Wow.
Naomi and her menfolk left ancient Jerusalem because it was a famine in the land.
Famine in the land. Come on.
And when they came to Moab, we had everything.
Right.
Right. Fields of corn, beans, greens, tomatoes, as far as the eye could see, man.
Amazing.
We fed the world once, and we're gonna feed them again. And what's so beautiful about going back? I'm 77 years old now.
Wow.
Islam.
That's a blessing.
I can go back and see some of the things I did. I wish I never came on earth. Islam.
Islam.
I heard our community. But I'm older, so I can tell you young brothers, oh, Mo, don't go that way.
That's right.
Don't fall into that pit. Islam.
You do, and you do a good job with that. Yes, sir.
Yes. Why? Because the highest heights are gained by those that reach the greatest depth.
That's right.
So when we talk about Abraham Lincoln, the Mo is putting us on a solid foundation, Mo. Right? We can't lose. We can't lose, Mo.
Islam,
I want to
Did you wanna
deal with,
cover Gettysburg in your article as well? Because you brought up your article, and
yes,
I
but
had
let me,
a chance to look at the article. Did you want to cover that article? What compelled you to write the article, as well as the Gettysburg Moors visiting Gettysburg as well? Did you want to cover that as well?
yes, but let me cover this right at the present,
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
right?
Okay.
The free national constitutional law that was enforced in 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared equal and free by the free national constitution, since that constitution has never changed, there's no need for the application of the 14th or 15th Amendment for the salvation of our people and citizens. So what
Islam.
was the purpose for it? The purpose for it was a Ponzi scheme
Mm.
by the radical Republicans, right,
Islam.
to do their coup d'etat. See, when you see that Congress shall, that means in the future. In other words, they tell you in the future, we're going to take additional power.
Say that part again. Say that part again, because you were breaking up.
Say it again, Mo.
You were breaking up when you said it. You said coup d'etat, and then you said something
Yes,
after that, but you were breaking up.
yes,
Can you just repeat it again for the audience? Thank you.
yes. The reason for the 14th, 15th Amendment, it was a coup d'etat, right?
Islam.
It was a coup d'etat, overthrow of government. That's what a coup is. It's an overthrow of
That's
government.
right.
When you see in the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, the 13th Amendment, and two sections, that terminology, the United States, the government, excuse me,
All is well.
the
All is
government
well.
shall have power, right? In other words, they're giving themselves power in the future. See, it's checks and balances with the government, Mo. The
Right.
executive, legislative, and judicial. Checks and
Islam.
balances. But the
Three
radical
branches.
Republicans saw how they can control the South, take the Southerners' land, because the army of freedom was already there.
He
They were
sent them down
already
there.
in the
That's right.
South.
Right. That's
So
right.
anything they think coming from the legislature was supposed to be law, but it wasn't. Islam. See,
Islam.
that's where a lot of our people are confused because they set up schools and taught our people about the 14th
Right.
Amendment. If you talk to people in
Right.
civil rights, they're going to uphold that 14th Amendment. And I'm telling you, young Moors now, when y'all go to the meeting with them, and it's about that, what is the true law of land? You better speak up and let them know. If
Islam.
they don't understand the 1320, tell them to take the proclamations, man. Right?
Islam.
But no, not that 14th Amendment. Just let them know that it was thrown out of court in 1883 by Justice Bradley, Supreme Court
Islam.
Reporter 109. The law speaks for itself.
Islam.
It speaks for itself, bro. So
Yes,
when you
sir.
talk, when you're talking about Lincoln and that 1320, the bill that introduced the 1320 is the Mosaic Code. It's the Mosaic Code,
Islam.
right? Now the guy that introduced the bill was Salisbury from Delaware.
That's right.
He represented the slave community, but it was his job to introduce the bill, Islam,
Islam.
right, as a peace offering. So what he was saying was, well, look, let's go back. Even in history, if you go back to the very beginning of history, on their side of their history, Abraham had a slave.
That's right.
He sent this slave into such and such. Slavery always existed from the first period of recorded history, right? So a friend of Lincoln, Mr. Harlan's, remarked, and he said it is a provisions, right, in the law that provide for compensation, right? Then he breaks down the compensation.
That's right.
Moses is mentioned. The prophets. Who's on
That's
your
right.
nationality card? The prophets.
Right.
Why?
Go ahead.
We identified. We identify with that history. We identify. We stand with the prophets, man.
Islam.
Now they're trying to say it's an allegory, it's a belief. Okay,
Right.
I believe that it's true. Now,
Right.
So I'm staying with the prophet until I find out otherwise.
Islam, I agree.
But see what they're trying to do now, Mo? They're trying to step our people. Our people are reading them laws, Islam,
Right.
and they're trying to make some sense out of it. Now you got people coming into Moorish science or Moorishism that don't know nothing about Moorish science, and some of them doing a good job.
Right. That's right.
Some of them hold their own. Some of them even amongst all races now. You hear people come on and talk about Islam,
Right.
you know, and they say, man, they call that prayer, that does something to me, you know, and things of this nature. Now the system, look, they can't shut it down forever, Mo. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The truth crushed the earth will rise.
Islam.
You see what I'm saying, Mo? So here we go right here. So there's but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost, and that is through the above statement. And that above statement was what? That since the Free National Constitution, law of 1774 didn't change or pass, we don't need no 14th or 15th Amendment. Let's put that on the side and let's deal with the true proclamations, right? Then the lion and the lamb can lie down together in yonder hills and I will be harmed because love, truth, freedom, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in the land in those days. The United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if those principles are not carried out by the citizens and my people in this government, the worst is yet to come.
That's right.
The worst is yet to come. As the great prophet in South America, called for Can, made a statement that in order to save the earth from biosphere destruction, you must return to natural time. We're not living in natural time. We're living in what's called the era in time.
Okay.
And so the prophet came, and from the front of the book, one of the first chapters that we read is time never was. What man was not. You understand what I'm saying, Mo? So the prophet is telling us now take control of the ether plane. Take control of the atmosphere. You can't be stopped. You connected, you son of Allah, Mo.
That's right.
See?
Islam.
It's in us. If you say it's a light, and he says light, and she says a light is a light.
Islam.
Law govern all event.
That's right.
We got to come together to agree.
Wow.
See? And that's all we got to do. Now, let me tell you this. One time we went to court, right?
Okay.
And Grand Sheik Frank Bey can bear witness to this.
Okay.
The judge, I think he was Italian, he said, well, wait a minute. What you Moors doing in my court? Don't you have your own court? So what is he telling us? What is he telling the Moors? He didn't lambaste us. He did it in an intelligent way, an intelligent tone. Right. He's saying, man, y'all not supposed to be here. Y'all supposed to have your own court.
Okay.
As long as we stay under the people, you follow me? See, you gotta, what's the word? Come out from amongst them.
That's right.
Come out from amongst them.
Islam.
It ain't telling you you're not part and partial. You come out from amongst their customs and traditions and deal with your own. You still in the land. One generation pass away, another generation come, but the earth will abide forever. How you gonna live on the earth? Are you gonna live under a fiction law, or what they call a color law? Or are you gonna live under the true laws of the land? The Quran. Come on, man.
Wow, I hear you.
See? So time is moving on.
Okay.
The worst is yet to come because the great God of the universe is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by my people. And this great sin of niggerism must be removed from the land to save it from enormous earthquakes, diseases, etc.
Islam.
All right. So now, excuse me.
Take your time. Take your time. You okay? If you need to get some water, go get some water. If you need
Thank
to.
you.
Yes, sir.
So, like I said before, we established this government, right? It came from our old system. The old system was the Iroquois Federation,
Islam.
right?
That's right.
When you say, well, some more, I see the tribes, but I don't see us. Well, that's because you don't know the code.
Islam.
Whenever you see the code more or more, and you see Mohawks, Mohicans, they're talking about the Moors.
People.
See, you talking about turbans and feathers. Mo say, what do you mean turbans and feathers? What you talking? Didn't you have a feather?
That's right.
Did he have a turban?
That's right.
Come on, man.
Adam. That's right.
See, so in the days of the American Revolution, our Declaration of Independence, see, it's three great lights in the world. The ancient biblical record, Islam,
Okay. Islam.
what we call the Bible,
That's right.
the Quran
That's right.
of Abdullah Yusuf Ali, peace and
Islam.
blessings be upon him, Prophet Muhammad, and the Constitution. Now you got Circle 7.
That's right. Islam.
And lights, more tents are going to come from the Jews' demonstration. Islamo.
I hear you.
So the Declaration of Independence was a light, was held sacred by all at the time, and thought at the time to include all. But now, to aid in making the Negro bondage of the Negro universal and eternal is assailed, sneered at, constructed, balked at, and torn till the framers could rise from the grave. They could not all recognize it.
Wow.
All the powers of earth seem rapidly combining against him. Mammoth is after him. Ambition follows, and philosophy follows. And the theologians of the day, they fast joining the cry. They have him in his prison house. They have searched his person and left no prying instrument with him. And one after another, they close the heavy iron door upon him. And now they have him, as it were, bolted in with a lock of 100 keys, which can never be unlocked without the concurrence of every key. The keys in the hands of 100 different men, and they scatter to 100 different and distant places. And they stand amused to what invention in all the dominion of mind and matter can be produced to make the impossibility of his escape more complete than it already is. And they still say to this day, Mo,
hey,
come,
right, wow.
Let us cut them off from being a nation. Let the nation, see, that's the business of some governments.
Islam, that's right. That's
to
right.
cut other nations off.
That's right.
They put all their energy, all their manpower, everything into that cutting the nation off.
That's right.
See? And that's why we got to put all our energy, all our manpower into being free.
To restoring it. That's right.
See?
Islam.
And we talking about being free. We're not talking about living under nobody.
Not at all. That's right.
Right? We're talking about being absolutely free.
Islamism.
If somebody gonna rule something and they on your land, shouldn't you have some say in it?
You should have a lot of say in it if you ask me.
Huh?
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
man.
Right, come on.
Now, we on our land.
That's right.
We don't have no big buildings.
Nah.
We don't loan to nobody. Everybody loan to us.
That's right.
And it enslaves us because it got you working off a debt.
Economically.
Economical.
That's
Right.
right. Come on. Man. That's right.
So
So
when the
that kind of
prophet
goes as
brought us,
well. Go
when the
ahead.
prophet brought us our blessings and lessons,
Okay.
right? This was to free us, right? And it will free us.
Islam.
We can't miss with the prophet, but it take power, it take focus, right?
Islam.
And ingenuity, and we got to learn to love instead of hate.
That's right.
Let that
That's,
little stuff go, man.
that's
Let it
right.
go.
Come on,
You
man.
follow me?
That's
You
right.
know, we have a beautiful society. We would have a beautiful society. You know.
Yes, sir.
So how's our time looking, Mo?
Your time looking good. So I wanted to because you kind of segue right into it. So you know, the current state of the Asiatic nation here in North America. What are some issues that happening now in 2024 politically and economically that you see? Because I know that you said, well, Mo, you know, I see how things are being lined up. I see what's happening. I see what's coming down the pipeline pertaining to the whole issue of immigration as it pertains to proclaimed Moorish Americans, as well as
Yeah,
the Asiatics, our brothers and sisters who haven't proclaimed their nationality,
yes.
how it's going to impact them. Would you clear to
Okay.
share what you see? And we got
Okay.
like maybe like 20, 30 minutes left.
Okay. Thank you, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me say this. First, let me say this prayer, Mo, because I like to invoke the prayer from time to time. This prayer is called the Dawn, Islam.
Islam.
In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Say, I seek refuge with the Lord of the dawn, from the mischief of creative things, from the mischief of darkness as it overspreads, from the mischief of those who practice the secret arts and blow on knots, and from the mischief of the envious one as he practices envy. Islam.
Islam.
Yeah, Mo, I asked Allah to show me how the enemy might come at us. You follow me?
I follow
So
you.
I can warn my people. And it was revealed. See, the thing with the immigration, the the people that's coming from Central and South America, they have no paperwork in this legal fiction. You understand
That's
what I'm
right.
saying, Mo?
Understand, I follow
To
you.
say that they transporting, that they visiting, that they're citizens,
Islam.
right?
That's
But
right.
neither do the people that's been here all along.
Yeah,
They
come
don't
on
have
now.
no paperwork at all to show that they're citizens.
Islam.
None. See, men know that the 14th Amendment and all that was thrown out of court in 1883. Our people have been subjugated to a brainwashed level of thinking.
That's
They
right.
made them think that they are a citizen under the 14th Amendment.
Right. Right. That's true.
The
So
14th
true.
Amendment was thrown out of court in 1883, Mo.
Islam.
So what happened was they said let them think it,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And built up uh, a caveat around that, so to speak.
Okay.
So our people are functioning in an illusionary state of mind, right?
Islam.
They can't get free because, first of all, they're not praying to their God. You got to
Right.
pray to your own God to be free, man.
Right. That's the
You
first
know
play. Come
how you
on.
gonna pray to the enemy God and be free?
Right. Don't work that way.
Don't
That
work
don't
that
even
way,
make any
bro.
sense. Don't work that way. That's right.
So the prophet said, "I'm returning the church and Christianity back to the Europeans because they're founded by their forefathers for their earthly salvation,
Islam.
while we the Moorish are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation."
That's right.
See? And what's getting ready to come on earth, man? They're gonna, you there, Mo?
I'm here. Hold on, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Can you hear me? Oh, they trying to break up. They trying to mess it up. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me? Oh, they trying to freeze it up. Okay. Well, praise the Lord. We're going to continue. Give me 1 second. Try to bring it up. Yeah, they didn't want that to come out, but that's perfectly fine. Make a phone call real quick. And thank you for being with us, to our listeners and our viewers. Islam Governor, can you hear me? I'll try to bring up. I'm calling him right now. Just give me 1 second. Yes, Governor, you're on the phone right now. I don't know what happened, but it's frozen up.
Okay, I was going back in. I was going
Oh, you gonna go back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. All right. Peace. All right. Thank you for our listeners and our viewers. I think Governor Maddox-Bey, Sheik Maddox-Bey, was disconnected. Just bear with us for a few minutes. He's gonna come back on the live restream. Again, this is Moorish Sense Media. Sheik Brendan Jordan Hill. Just waiting for Governor Maddox-Bey to log back in. It seems or appears he froze up. Can you hear me?
It's booting up. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool. We back on. And as soon
I
as
can
it
hear you
loads
very
up,
well.
praise Allah. As soon as it loads back up, you
putting everything together.
Okay. All right, we can hear you now. Your screen's still frozen, but if you want to continue, you can continue.
Okay.
All right. All right, I see you now. I'm about to close this one screen, open the other one. All right, here we go. Yes, sir. You back on.
Yeah. So now what was the last thing I was
You're speaking in reference to the people being born here or being from here, not having any documentation in regards to them being
right.
true American
So
citizens.
right. They can't show that they're citizens.
Islam.
They can't show they have no paperwork. They show that they from the government, an extension of the government,
Islam.
or none of that.
Wow.
And the deliberation of the nation. No consideration given to people that's not a nation.
That's right.
So this is why the deal is when the Europeans told them when they went to Ireland
They
collective
went down.
service
That's right.
and they put down they were born. Europeans said, no, y'all Negro. Y'all are Negro. Say we ain't no Negro. We Moors. Moors.
Islam.
So he said, nah, brother say, Mo, let's get Mr. Watson. Let's go and see Watson.
That's right.
And they got a favorable answer. Right? So the man they spoke to was a wise man. He said, y'all two brothers have the same, and they said, yeah, they put on the head. I ain't arguing with you no more, right?
Islam.
Although a different nationality, a different religion, a believer nonetheless. That's why we have to take our time and speak cordial, intelligent. Because some people get this boy science, man, and their attitude is off the chain.
Right, that's right.
You
know? Right.
That's not even the instructions
That's
from Yahshua.
That's right. Come on now.
He said appeal to their higher nature, and we got it.
That's
it's just a matter of time, bro. But let me there's this piece on this is very profound.
Okay.
In those days of the American Revolution, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. They meant to set up a standard maximum for a free society, which should be familiar to all and revered by all, constantly looked to, constantly labored for, and even though never perfectly attained, constantly prospering and thereby constantly spreading and deepening its influence and augmenting the happiness and value of life to all people of all complexions everywhere. The assertion that all men are created equal, was of no practical use in affecting our separation from Great Britain. It was placed in the Declaration, not for that, but for future use. Its authors meant it to be, and thank God it is now proving itself a stumbling block to those who, in after time, might seek to turn a free people back into the hateful path of despotism.
Hmm.
They knew the proneness of posterity to breed tyrants, and they meant when such should reappear in this fair land and commence their vocation, they should find left for them at least one hard nut to crack.
Wow.
That's why we got to stay on our A game,
Islam.
you know.
Yeah.
And once we Moors understand that we wrote the Constitution,
That's right.
that the majority of the men of the Constitutional Convention of 1787 had feathers and turtles.
We're Moors. That's right. They were Moors.
Don't believe me? Go to the Washington Memorial. They got a mural, and also they got the little like little tin soldiers, right?
Hmm.
Spread it out
Yes, sir.
at the Constitutional Convention, and they had feathers on. And if you
Hmm.
go upstairs, it's on the 7th or 5th floor, and you'll see the feathers. Moab Eel,
Islam.
Quran Bay, so on and so forth, and
Islam.
Ali.
Islam.
That's our history.
Islam.
So Allah is leading on to the
That's right.
Islam, Mo.
Islamism. So
And
Governor Maddox. Wait, go
I
ahead.
don't
You
know how
have a
much time we got left, Mo.
we got about 7 minutes left, but you can continue on your about 7 to 8 minutes. We can go 8 minutes. 8 minutes
All right,
remaining.
well let me do this thing in Gettysburg because it's coming up soon.
That's right.
It'll be right on before we know it. The Gettysburg National Address, National Cemetery, Gettysburg, Virginia, November the 19th, 1863. 4 score and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived, so dedicated, can long endure. We have met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a large sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot howl this morning. The brave men living and dead who struggle here have consecrated far above our forefathers to add or detract. The world will little know, no longer remember what we say here, but it can never forget what we did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work for which they fought here and thus so far nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored men we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full message of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God and law, shall have a new hope of freedom. And that government, by the people, of the people, and for the people, shall not perish. Abraham Lincoln.
Islam. Praise Allah.
So that's our tale. That's the thing we hold, man.
Islam. Yes, sir.
We touched upon the subject. We touched upon the Sunday morning of South Carolina.
That's right.
The brother from South Carolina, Sheik Frank Bey, brought another history, right, from the greater list of the Moors from South Carolina, right? Moors,
Islam.
right?
That's right.
And Mo, let me say this about, because I live and worked in South Carolina.
All right.
Man, when I saw them pirate teams, I thought I was in heaven, man.
Right. That's
But
how
I
I felt.
was right by the Piggly Wiggly, right?
I love South Carolina. That's my family. Yeah, my
Yeah,
family. But my
yeah,
wife and I, we went down to Beaufort. I was like, man, I told her
yeah.
I went down there to see my little brother because my little brother came. He went through the military, went through the Marines. I said, because this is when I first came to the town. I said, this is Africa. She
Yeah,
said, what? And I took her down there, took her down there. It's my son down there. I said, yeah, this is, we already in Africa.
beautiful country.
We already in it, man.
Yes, yes.
It's our land. You know what I
So,
mean?
yeah. So, we land brick at Beaumont Road in Charleston. And I'm telling the brothers about their Moorish nationality. And me and his brother, we became friends, right? So he took
Yes,
me
sir.
past his house. Mom fixed us a nice dinner. And he said, man, you know what? That Moorish history is fascinating. He said, man, my people, when we were set free, the man named us Moor. I said, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He
Wow.
said, yeah. I said, what was your name? He said, we don't know what our name was. But he said our last name was Moore. I said, man, you know what he was doing? He was giving you your nationality
Yes,
back, man.
wow.
But let me say this, man.
Go ahead.
At Gettysburg, we was going to Gettysburg so much, right?
Yes.
That they called the Moorish Science Temple in Baltimore, right? Number 13,
Yes.
right? They asked to speak to the governor, right? Spoke to him. They said, well, how would y'all like to participate in an interment for a brother by the name of Goody, right?
Okay.
He was buried in another cemetery. He was going to bury in Gettysburg. I said, yo, I can talk to man. See, we go cave it. So we went. Man, Sheik Frank Bey lined us up out with their honor guard.
Okay.
Their honor guard was on one side of the podium. It was about 12 or 13 of them. It was about 12 or 13 of us. We had our feathers on and the Moorish American flag. You know?
Wow. That's an
Now,
honor.
who you know invite the Moors anyway?
Right. Right.
But we went up there, but we always kept our composure, right? We went there on a friendly picture, and we got a favorable reply.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Well,
Yes.
we're at the end of our segment. I want to thank the Governor Sheik Maddox-Bey for just coming on the program. I know this won't be this is the first time, but it definitely won't be the last time. We're going to have you back on the program again. Thank you for coming on here, sharing your insight, just sharing your history, sharing the history of the Moorish Science Temple of America, how you came into the temple, some of the most pressing and really prominent issues that are affecting our people in this part of the world as it relates to us being Moorish Americans, and just giving us that rich history on Grand Sheik Richardson Dingley as well. It's very, I learned a lot. I mean, I've talked to you before, and like my son often says, my son, he gives you a lot of honor. He said, I love when you come to the temple up on Milton and Chase. He said, because my son's he's a history buff just like me. So he's always listening, he's just listening. He's like, well, what does that mean? So it's just good to have this. This is a historical interview right now. So,
Yes.
we're going to conclude with this interview. We're going to conclude with the Moorish American prayer. We hope that our viewers and our listeners, if you have any questions, you can email us at Moorish Sense Media, and I can relay them to the Governor, Sheik Frank Maddox-Bey, so that he can get to you. If you have any questions at all pertaining to anything that was stated this evening, he is a wealth of knowledge. So please reach out to us. He's more than
Give
willing.
my phone number, Mo.
You want to give it
Give
out?
my phone number.
All right, go ahead and give it out. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Islam.
Islamism.
My phone number is 443
Yes.
739 5964.
Praise Allah.
443-739-5964.
And if you didn't catch it the
Peace.
first time, peace. If you didn't catch it, you can rewind it back and you'll hear it again with the governor giving you his phone number. That's his direct contact. Please reach out to him. And with that being said, we're going to end this meeting off with the Moorish American prayer. Governor Maddox-Bey, would you mind leading the prayer and I'll follow along? Islam?
Islam.
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 Allah, the Father of the universe,
Allah, the Father of the universe,
Father of love,
Father of love,
truth,
truth,
peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation
and my salvation
by night
by night
and by day
and by day
through his holy prophet,
through his holy prophet,
through Ali.
Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. All
Go
right.
and pray.
That's right. Peace to everyone. We'll see you
Peace.
back. We have another show coming out this Thursday, myself and Sheik Frank Maddox-Bey. So tune into that as well. But definitely tune into this show on YouTube. We're gonna be having it on Facebook, and Sheik Maddox-Bey is gonna be running it on the platforms that he teaches on. And Sheik Maddox-Bey, you also teach. Before we leave, did you want to just share on the other aspects that you teach on? You teach on different platforms as well. Did you want to share that as well?
Well, I can get a number out. We come on Sunday from 11 to 1.
Okay.
The phone number is 667-770-1700. I think it's 46.
Okay. If you don't get it, I'll
Yeah.
get it from you, and I'll post it on
And the pin is 848-329.
Praise Allah. Thank you. And if it doesn't go through, if somebody contacts, I'll get it from you and I'll relay it to them. It's not a problem, not an issue at all. All right. So with that, we're going to say Islam. We're going to say Islam. We're going to say Islam and peace. And we will see you. I'll see you on Thursday. Peace.